So I'm going to show you how to make a button for the side of your blog, or for wherever you want to put it on the blog, in the footer or the sidebar. Basically, it's just an image that when you click it, it links through to another page. So you could use it to link through to a completely separate website or blog, or social media account or something like that. Or you can use it to link through to another page on your particular blog. So for example, we've got the homework button on our blog. When you click it, it takes you to, you'll see the links changed up here. It takes you to the list of everything that's tagged in the homework category. Another example is on Jeff Hamada's blog. He's a Vancouver-based blogger, an artist, and blogs about art. Surprise, surprise. So you'll see on his sidebar, he has lots of buttons that when you click, link through to various different things. So sponsors, or there was down here to his Instagram or to a giveaway that he was running. So if I click on this, it'll take me to the giveaway that he did on his blog for the camera straps. David Zirin, who writes a sports blog, he has buttons on the side as well that link you to somewhere outside of his blog, so a book that you can buy. So you'll see here it says buy it, and then a picture, and then some text, and link to a interview he's done on Democracy Now. If you click on that, it will take you through so you can listen to the interview. So basically, you can make a button for as many links as you want. You can also obviously just do a straight text link. You don't want to make too many buttons because otherwise it just gets a bit cluttered. And when you first come to the page, you don't want them to have to scroll all the way down the bottom to find your link to whatever you want it to be. So I'm going to make one now for our holiday blogging challenge, and then in the next video I'll show you how to insert it into your blog and tag posts and make links. Okay, so open our trusty Pixlr, and I'm going to show you two different ways with two different images of what you could do. So the first one is with an image that I took of me at the beach, because I did it during the holidays, so I figured it looked kind of holiday-ish. So I'll just rotate this so it's facing the right way, and I'm going to make it smaller already because I know that it's quite big. Now when you're putting something in on your sidebar, the sidebars are usually around no bigger than maybe 300 or even 200 pixels wide. So you'll see that I just changed that to 700 pixels. Obviously that means it's going to be too big, but it's nice to have it big so I can work on it, and then we can change that later. But just be aware that the button on the side of your blog isn't going to be very big, so you need to make sure that it's really, really clear, not lots of little writing, otherwise it's going to be hard for people to understand. Okay, so because I have this fairly big button already, I don't want this one to be too huge, so I know that I'll eventually crop it. I might not crop it straight away, but I'm going to put some writing on it. So I've got my picture. Over on my toolbar to put add writing, I'd find the A, and you'll notice that when I click that and then click wherever I'm going to put it, that over here a second layer has automatically appeared, so you don't have to create a layer to add text. It will do it for you, and you can move it around later, so you can just click anywhere on the image. So I'll type in holiday blogging challenge, and you can kind of see it here, but it's pretty light. So the first thing I'm going to do is just make it a bit bigger, and then I'll change the colour because I want it to be white. So to change the colour, you just click on the black, and then it brings up the colour picker. So you slide it around the wheel to the shade that you want, and then you slide this part to the actual colour. So whichever colour pops up here, that's the colour that it will then become. So I'll click OK. And I'm going to click OK here and then move this around. So now that I've done that, I've got my text layer selected, and I'll click on the move tool, which is this one, and then I can move this around to where I want it to sit and to see if it's the right size, etc. So that looks about as big as I want it to be, but I do want to change the font. So again, with that layer selected, I click on the A and click over top of the text, and it brings up the little text editing box again. Now to change the font, I just go to the font drop down menu, and I usually click on the first one and then just use my arrow tools to just go through them, and it will change it on the picture as you go until I find one that I like the look of. So I might choose, probably should have decided on this beforehand so I didn't have to go through it for ages. That one looks good to me. And then just hit OK. Some of them will let you change it to bold and italic, some of them won't. Depends what that particular font comes with. And so I might just make it 50. And that's done. Click on the move tool, put it in the place. Now, obviously, it's kind of tricky to see because of the background. Sometimes you might have a picture that it works really well on, or if I'd had it kind of somewhere around there, it wouldn't be so hard to see. But I like this part of the image down here. So I'm going to put in a little bit of a background behind it to make it stand out. I'll show you how I do that. You can do this with lots of different results, but this is one way of doing it. So I'm going to add a layer, and I'm going to slide that layer so it sits in between the text and the background, and then I'm going to go over and select the shape tool. Now when I draw a shape, it just fills it in with black because it's up here, and make it whatever size I want. I can choose to have one with rounded corners, or a circle or oval if I want. So I'd like to have just a rectangle, because what I'm going to do is I want to make a stripe kind of behind this, so just behind the lettering. And I also want to change it from black to, I might make it like a navy kind of blue, which I'm kind of into at the moment, so it's navy blue. So then I just use the mouse and drag it. You can kind of slightly see the background, and then when I let go, there you go. Which I like, but I kind of wish that you could still see through it. I don't like that it's so dark, so I'm going to go back one and do the same thing again, but I'm going to change the opacity. So the opacity is how see-through or not see-through it is. Opaque is not see-through, transparent is see-through. So if the opacity is at 100, that means it's as un-see-through as possible. So slide it down to maybe, I don't know, halfway. It doesn't have to actually be that dark, it just needs to be dark enough that people can see the lettering. Then I'll do it again. Much better. I'm just going to use the move tool and then use my arrows to just tab up a tiny bit. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Might make it a bit more actually. Now if I want to do anything with the lettering, I have to make sure I click back on where it says the text, and I'm going to just tab up a little bit as well to make sure that looks better. Still not totally happy with the, I don't know if you guys can hear that annoying lawnmower out there, but anyway, not totally happy with the font, so I might just, that one's kind of cool. Find one that I really like. This is the part that always takes me, well, that one's cool, forever. And slide it along so it's kind of centered-ish. Cool. Now I'm going to crop this with just enough space on top so it's obvious that that's a bit of a stripe. And I like that it's kept in this tiny little bit of sea glass. Image, crop, and that's my button. So now I need to save it. I'm going to make it smaller because I know that I don't need it to be anywhere near that big, so I'm going to make it about 300. Then look at it. Oops, sorry, go back one. Let's merge all my layers first, otherwise it's just going to make the image smaller. But did you notice how it didn't make any of this stuff smaller? So to make this all, you can see how there's still 3 layers here. To make this all one image, so you join all those together, we're going to go to Layer, Flatten Image, and now it's just one image. So if I change the size, changes the whole size. Let's look at it at 100%. Perfect. Save it. I'll save holiday blogging challenge button up to 100. Click OK. Save it in my graphics folder. Done. So that's one that you can do. The next one is, I'll show you how to change the size of the canvas. So I've got this crazy looking photo here of this kid with some kind of Viewmaster on having a good time. I'm going to turn this into a button, but I don't want to write over top of him because I kind of like the way that I don't want to obscure any of the photo. So if I go to Image, Canvas Size, I can change the canvas. So the canvas is this area. So right now the canvas size is the area of the photo, but I can bump it out so the canvas sits out on either side, and I'll show you how. If I click in the middle and then adjust the height, it will add white to the top and white to the bottom. So maybe if I make it 600, it'll put 200 on the top and 200 on the bottom of white. You can see that. If you do it, oops, to there, it'll make everything on this side change. So 500, 450, like that. Okay, so I'll do image. I'd like it on top and the bottom. So, and I'm going to make it maybe 550. So then I can put writing on the top and writing on the bottom. And my text. Click on there, holiday blogging. I'm going to put challenge on the bottom. So I'll leave that there and move this to see. Probs need to make that smaller. So click in there. You don't even have to highlight it, you can just use the slider. That looks pretty good. And then down here, and you can see now there's 3 layers. Challenge. I might even put in exclamation point. Okay. And slide that down. And I think I'm going to change the color of the font as well. So I'll change the color of holiday blogging first. So I've clicked on the layer it is. Click on A, click in there, go to the color picker, slide it to, say I want yellow. Make it a bit warmer. Cool. And if you're interested or you're a bit smart and you've noticed it, you'll notice that these numbers and letters change as I move it around. Each color has its own code. And we'll be talking about that a bit next term. So that's the color I like. I'll add it in. Okay, I'm just going to move it. It's not centered, so I'm going to move it over a bit. There we go. And now to change the color of challenge, click on the challenge layer, click on A, click in the word, and then I'm going to do this a totally different color. Maybe so whichever colour pops up here, remember, is the one that you're going to get. Okay, sweet. So that's my other button. Obviously that one's quite long and it's different to what I first wanted, but I kind of like it. It's a bit cute. You could add more things on top of that if you wanted to. For example, if you find anything that has a transparent background, an image that has, or has a white background, you could remove the background like we did with the photos and add it on top. I might add, let's see in my design files what I've got. I think I have maybe not much. Oh, here we go. I know that. Pixlr. Sequin clusters. Sequins. So you'll notice if you look here, it looks like it's got a white background, but it's actually got no background, like what we did when we took out backgrounds in our Portrait of a Leader series. So I might choose that. Kind of is cool because it goes with the same colour. This, here we go, I'll just use this one. Sequins, open it up, it's huge. So obviously if I put that one straight on top of this, it will just look massive. So I'm going to make it smaller. Maybe like, I know this is 374 by 550, so I might make this around 100 pixels wide. I'm going to copy it by going Edit, Select All, Copy, click on this one, and then I put a new layer on it. Actually, you don't have to because it will create its own layer. There. You can see now there's glitter, there's these sequins on it. Oops. Select the right layer before you move it. And put it here. Kind of looks like he's vomiting sequins, which is a bit cool, really. Cool. That last step of adding an extra thing, I know, is maybe a little bit more than we need to do. I'll do another post about adding things like that, so we can do in collages. For now, you probably just need to know how to make an image. Remember, you can use your own images, you can find things on the internet, but make sure if you're taking from someone else's that you credit them, or you look for copyright-free images, which is what this is, so anyone's allowed to use it. Now, merge these again, because it's currently 6 layers. So layer, flatten image. That's one image. Save it. Holiday blogging challenge. Button 2. Oh, 2. Bump that up. Okay. I know I didn't change the size of this, but it's not that big anyway. I can change it in WordPress. And save. Done and done.